Ayan, good afternoon everyone and welcome again to another session of our free webinar. This time our topic is about managing C&B using technology. For this month for this month's webinar po, our general topic is the role of technology in HR and the pandemic. So before we begin, let me just greet some of our viewers right now. Pasensya na po kung medyo kagandahan ng boses dahil kagagaling ko lang po sa ating Labor Relations and Labor Cases webinar. So for those who have attended the Labor Relations and Labor Cases webinar earlier, if you're watching right now, thank you for still staying dito sa page natin and for watching this afternoon session. Yeah, for those who have already emailed their answer to our coursework, I've already received it. Hindi ko pa nare-review pero I've already received it. I'll be reviewing it later. I'll give you feedback as soon as I have gone through all of your answers to our coursework. So good afternoon po. Good afternoon to Jamila who's watching from Lanao. Let us know where you're watching us from right now para mabati natin ngayon. So we have someone as far as Lanao. We also have from Masbate. From I think this is Paul Espina's relatives. So I know that Paul is also watching right now. Hello din po. Good afternoon, She, Jai, Hakiwa. Good afternoon. We also have Miss Elizabeth de los Reyes. Good afternoon po. Angel and Esther Guerrero. Good afternoon. MD Raborar. Mega SDRO. Good afternoon. Mega is actually one of our tambay na dito sa ating page for the free webinar. She's been a regular attendees of our paid and free webinars. So good afternoon po. Miss Katrina Santiago, good afternoon. For those who are watching us right now and would like to watch with their team members or would like to watch with their group, please don't hesitate to do a watch party. Click on watch party po para ma-share nyo po siya sa ibang mga kasama nyo. We are going live right now in our Uprush Facebook page as well as my own Facebook page and the Society for the Advancement of HR group as well as the Philippines HR group. So ayan po. Good afternoon po everyone. Naaliw naman sa sinabi ni Ms. Sheska. I have received my e-certificates from the past two webinars. Naging Saturday habit ko nang umattend ng webinars ninyo. We are very thankful. We are happy that you made it a Saturday habit. As much as possible, we would like to do this every Saturday and provide you with information that you need in your work as an HR professional. Pa-shoutout daw po. Naku, nag-shoutout na ako. Pa-shoutout daw po kay Miss Sharon Oliveros. Para na akong vlogger, artista. Feeling artista. Ayan. Good afternoon kay Miss Alu De Terra, also one of our usual attendees in our webinars. Good afternoon po. We have Miss Adele Marilingo from Las Piñas. Hi to everyone in Las Piñas. I actually live in Las Piñas. Hi, Erta. Good afternoon. Hi, Nay. Hi, Nak. Thank you also for being here. I'm here for Mikel. Okay. James Gutierrez is here for Mikel. I wouldn't expect anything else actually. Parang kinabahan ako if you're here for me. Okay. Suki here. Mary Josephine, Chrisbeth Talentino. Actually, oh yes, she is also Suki here. Lyrene is back. Lyrene is actually one of our helpful commentators. Last time, I believe it was last time, Lyrene was very helpful in answering all of the questions that I might have skipped. Thank you for that. Hi also to Miss Anne Barawidan. I hope I pronounced that right. Your page is very informative. Thank you. Thank you so much. We actually turned 5 years old last Thursday. So we are very happy to be sharing this good news with you. We have come up with a whole lot of other activities for this month. We are planning on having some sort of an Ask Your HR live stream wherein I will be going live stream, and then if ever you have any questions, you're free to throw it at our comment section. Let me know if you're interested with that. Kasi we're still planning that, but if you're interested with that, let us know para magawa natin ng paraan and we could invite everyone who's interested in doing some sort of a live conversation with everyone. Dennis Alvaran, I already received the L&D in the new normal, waiting for the other po. Yes po, paantay lang po. Right now kasi we are a very small team. I think I mentioned this in the past. We are a very small team. So usually, yung gumagawa po ng certificates ay 2 tao lang po. So one is for the paid webinars, sometimes helping out with the free webinars. With our free webinars, nanganganak siya araw-araw. So we thought we have already finished um with the labor relations, but I think the last time I checked, may mga dumagdag pa. With CNB, same goes. Performance management, I think I've already started sending out the certificates for that. So, wag po kayo mag-alala. Isi-send po natin yan at wag po kayong mapagod sa pag-aantay. Makukuha at makukuha nyo, masisend at masisend po sa inyo yan. Okay po. So, as what we have done in the past, thank you po doon sa mga nag-congrats po sa amin for our 5 years in the business. Maraming salamat po. I hope you're learning a lot from our webinars. Let me know po. Yes po, may certificate po ito. So later on, we will discuss on how you're going to get your certificate. Okay? So maraming salamat po sa pag-join sa amin right now. Just a few plugins lang po. We would like to invite everyone to attend our HR Bootcamp Batch 13. This is happening on October 16 and 17. If you would like to be part of this batch, just take out your phone, use your QR code scanner, and then scan the QR code that you're seeing on your screen right now. Yung HR Bootcamp Batch 13 po natin ay napakaswerte kasi number one, we have been given the go signal to do the AHRP certification again. So if you're part of HR Bootcamp Batch 13, pwede po kayong mag-apply for the AHRP certification. At the same time, HR Bootcamp Batch 13, get to enjoy ang ating Food Panda vouchers po. So as long as you're part of HR Bootcamp Batch 13, meron po kayong automatic na Food Panda vouchers po, food vouchers po. Okay po? HR Bootcamp is actually our flagship program. We've been doing this for 3 years now. The reason for this is to provide, or the principle behind this is to provide the necessary skills and knowledge for newbie HR professionals or for those who have forgotten the basics of HR. So it focuses on 4 topics, 4 modules. We have talent acquisition, compensation and benefits, learning and development, and employee relations. Ito po ay bootcamp, so yung mga topics po nito ay talagang mabilisan at medyo nosebleed po ang dating. So talagang challenging po siya. But since it's more of the basics and more of the foundations, medyo ano po siya, hindi po ganun kalalim yung discussion. You might need additional webinars po to get into the real world scenario. For example, for employee relations, aside from the HR bootcamp, we also recommend labor relations and labor cases na webinar po. AHRP stands for Associate for HR Professional. AHRP po, pwede niyo po siya iduktong doon sa last na name nyo. It's a step lower than CHRP, which is a Certified HR Professional. Si AHRP po is Associate or Affiliate HR Professional, but it's still a certification recognized in Australia and other parts of the world. It certifies that you have the basic knowledge needed for to be an HR professional, not just here in the Philippines, but in other parts of the world. Okay? Manager bootcamp, wala pa po kaming manager bootcamp, pinaplano pa lang po namin yan kasi we need to identify ano-ano ba yung mga modules na po pwede nating isama doon. Okay? So yun po. So for those who are interested in becoming part of our HR bootcamp, ayan po, kunin lang po ang QR code para kayo po ay maka-join. If ever you want to be sponsors, if ever you want your banners or your logo to be seen, and if ever you want us to show you inyo pong mga videos and stuff like that, sabihan nyo lang po kami. We are offering different sponsorship packages. The lowest one is event sponsor silver, wherein your logo will be included in all our event collaterals. You would be given your own. We would also be linking to your website on our post-webinar emails to attendees, and we'll have a special mention. You'll have a special mention prior to and at the end of the webinar. So yun po. Yan po. Meron po tayong mga tinatawag na mga lifetime partners natin right now. We have Social Geekers, Move Up, as well as Up. Yung mga umattend po ng employee engagement webinars, actually the webinar was under Move Up and Up. So kung kayo po ay nagre-request for certificates po, kailangan nyo pong i-download yung kanilang app, go through the exam, And once you've passed the exam, at least 70% po, tsaka pa lang nyo po makukuha yung inyong certificate. This is under move up and up, up, up. Hindi po siya under ng uprush. Okay? Pero we've been supporting move up and up, up, up. They have a very good platform for employee engagement, whether it is in performance management or it's in employee engagement or training and development, meron po silang platform for that. Ayan po. Kung kayo po ay nag-attend before ng bootcamp at gusto niyo pong makakuha ng AHRP, email niyo lang po kami. Bibigyan po namin kayo ng form at kung magkano po yung kailangan niyo pong idagdag. Yun po. Yes, that's for new HR. Yes po. Okay? Yes, ayusin natin yan. Don't worry. Dadating tayo dyan. Okay. Anyways po. Just a slight call for help lang po. We have Andre. Andre was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. He was diagnosed last June 10, 2020. He's actually the son of one of my friends and he's in need right now of financial support. He dreams of becoming a pilot someday and has always been the source of inspiration and pure bliss for his family. He can use your help right now for his medication. He's a very, very bubbly boy. His father is a close friend of mine. His father is actually a flight attendant. So it's only natural for Andre to also want to be a part of the industry and be a pilot someday. If you want to help Andre, I'm flashing right now the bank details where you can send your help. If ang kaya lang po ay moral support, wala pong problema. The number is also there. You can actually text the numbers there and just give some sort of moral support to my friend kasi kailangan po nila yan right now. Okay? Same goes for one of our team members, Monica Nalda. Unfortunately, Monica's father passed away a few weeks ago due to COVID, and she needs help. She and her brother needs help. We actually did a concert last September 1. We are still accepting. She's still accepting donations. So if you would like to donate, flashing right now the GCash number and the BPI number of Monica. Okay po? So yan po, kung nais pong tumulong po, pwede po kayong mag-send dyan ng inyong financial support. Kung naman po ang gusto lang itulong ay moral support po, pwede nyo rin pong message si Monica using that numbers. Before we proceed with our very, 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 very special guest right now, let me just thank one of our sponsors, Social Geekers. So, ano ba si Social Ayan po. Okay. So, ready na po ba kayo sa ating speaker for this afternoon? Kasi po ako ay sobrang na-excite nung nagsabi siya na interested siya na maging part ng ating webinar for this Saturday. So, without sabi ko sana without further ado, i-introduce ko pa lang. Okay. So, I would like to introduce our speaker for today. We have actually Mr. Mikel Zubiri. Mr. Mikel Zubiri's career journey has taken him to so many places and allowed him to explore every facet of business. He started his career overseas and spent years traveling the world, meeting leaders from various industries. In learning about these individuals and their organizations, he discovered that the most successful companies are those who realize the importance of employee well-being, which makes him the best person to facilitate this afternoon's discussion on managing compensation and benefits with the use of technology. Without further ado, let me bring in to the floor, to our screen, Mr. Mikel Zubiri. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Rona. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon
Ayan.
or good evening na ba?
Good evening. I think it's good evening, 5 p.m. na. So let's say it's good
Yeah.
evening now. Yeah.
Pwede na.
Oo, pwede na. Okay, so thank you very much, Michael, for joining us this afternoon. I know you have a lot of things to discuss when it comes to compensation and benefits. So can you let us know what's keeping you busy right now? I know you're connected with Uploan, so can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, sure. So currently, I am the or a partnerships and business development executive at Uploan Philippines. Uploan Philippines as a company is dealing with financial technology and financial wellness, financial well-being as an employee benefits provider to the employees of our partner company. So how we do business is we partner up with different companies and organizations all over the Philippines and provide their employees access to financial wellness seminars, trainings, and all that, and access to different financial options as well. So as an employee benefits provider dealing with technology because we operate entirely online, it's a good thing, and I'm glad that I was invited to conduct this talk with you guys to discuss really the importance of technology for managing compensation and benefits for employees.
Okay, so I think Michael is ready right now for his presentation.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, we
Michael.
are. We can go.
Okay, I'll leave the floor to you. So, guys, enjoy, prepare your questions. We'll have a Q&A session later on after Michael's talk. And I hope you learn a lot from Michael's presentation. Okay.
All right. Okay, so I am going to share my screen so you guys can see the presentation right here. Ayan. So I am here, or I was invited today to talk about the importance of technology or how to manage compensation and benefits using technology. First and foremost, I want to mention that my discussion is coming from a standpoint of an employee benefits provider in a company. I am not an HR professional, unlike most of you watching this right now. However, I've spent many days talking with and dealing with HR professionals. We actually conduct our business with HR professionals. So I'm at a good position to talk about how technology can help them in managing their compensation and benefits. So the topics that I have for you guys for discussion today are these three main points. Number one, why you should care about convenience in accessing benefits, or why it should be convenient for your employees to access their benefits. Number two, how technology can help lessen stress in times of emergency. As we all know, technology makes things quick and easy. So I'm just gonna talk about how it can help lessen stress as well for both the employer company, and the employee. And finally, focusing on one particular benefit, how using technology can improve financial wellness. So I'm basically going to talk kind of like a funnel, why technology is important for managing compensation benefits, all the way down to a specific example of an employee benefit that you can manage using technology. If it's not already obvious, yung talk po natin today will focus mainly on other benefits or fringe benefits. I won't be talking about salaries here, or how you can use technology in managing salaries. I believe Ms. Rona, together with Uprush, already had a webinar previously, a couple of weeks ago, focused naman on compensation and the different labor advisories that Dole released, especially now with what's going on all over the country, with COVID-19. So the problems that arise, or that are arising because of it. So I don't want to be redundant. So hindi na po natin itatackle yung salaries in that point, but we're gonna focus na lang sa benefits or other fringe benefits. Also those that are the other fringe benefits that are not legally mandated to provide. So yung other extras na lang talaga. Ayun. So first, I would like to provide a definition of benefits. As you all know, benefits are any perks, services, and other non-wage compensation offered to employees in addition to salary. So I mean, you guys are you're all HR professionals, naman. So I'm sure you're well aware of this. I just felt the need to start with that. All right. So first topic, why why you should care as an employer about the convenience for your employees in accessing their benefits. So the different ways that you can manage you can manage your employee benefits using technology is of course through a benefits portal. But I want to mention that it's very important that this is not a one size fits all thing, especially when it comes to employee benefit initiatives and programs. So every organization and every individual needs are different. So different benefits portal may fit different organizations. So first point is employee benefits should be convenient and accessible, not just available. So as employers, one of the biggest things that I'm sure you care about is the well-being of your employees. So a lot of companies provide different kinds of benefits or fringe benefits to entice or number one, to entice prospective employees to apply and be associated with your company. But at the same time, it entices existing employees to stay with your organization. So you don't want to simply provide these benefits. You want to, or I hope that you want to go the extra mile and make these benefits easily accessible to your employees. There are many HR platforms available. I'm sure maybe some of you are already using different HR platforms, maybe not. If not, something that you could consider, and I'll be discussing later on why it's important to consider these. Having next having these employee benefits easily accessible to your employees will help them feel more appreciated. Like I mentioned earlier, it will not only help you attract employees to apply to your company or retain your talent, but it'll make them feel appreciated that you actually care about providing them with different kinds of benefits that is easily accessible to them with a touch of a button, through their phone, through a portal. And we can't deny that technology makes things convenient for everyone in any types of technology, really. That's why we now live in the age of mobile phones where almost everyone has access to smartphones, ganyan. So parang buong buhay nila is with their phones. So why not make their benefits available to them on a mobile platform as well, diba? And it also gives your employees a sense of freedom or communication, or giving them a platform to openly communicate with you as HR professionals. It makes it easier for them to access you guys without having to have physical contact, especially now, now more than ever, that a lot of companies are resorting to work from home arrangements. There has to be, or you might want to think about having other ways for your employees to access you guys, or to have this line of communication with you guys outside of text messages or having to call your personal phone number. Nowadays, a lot of companies, employees can no longer just walk into the HR department and talk to talk to a HR representative face to face for any of their concerns. So having an online platform will make things a lot easier for them. And third point, it will show that you as employers care for them as well. It shows that you are invested in them. It shows that you care about their convenience. It's not just about what your employee does for you on a day-to-day basis. You know, when they do their jobs at work or in the office, but even at home, even while they're at home, it shows that you care and you're giving them access to everything that can help their professional lives, to do better in their professional lives, but to help them in their personal lives as well. I cannot stress enough how important that is now more than ever. Ayun. So let's move on to the next topic: how technology can help lessen stress in times of emergency. Actually, before I continue, I wanna apologize to everyone if I'm just talking and talking. This is the first time that I'm doing a webinar, so hindi ko nakikita yung mga mukha ninyo, your beautiful faces. So if you have any questions, please just flash them on the screen, and then mamaya sa question and answer portion that we have set aside, I'll go and answer your questions. Ano? So moving on, how technology can help lessen stress in times of emergency. We can use what's going on right now in around the world as an example. The entire world is in a state of emergency. There are a lot of problems brought about by COVID-19, and the Philippines, more specifically, is one of the worst hit countries around the world. Tayo na lang po yung may strictest quarantine measures pa rin in place compared to other countries. So this is the time where technology can really help. Technology can help eliminate unnecessary delays and paperwork. So in accessing different kinds of employee benefits, be it applying for something as simple as a vacation leave or any types of leave, something a little bit more complicated as accessing their insurance benefits if any of you guys offer insurance packages to your employees. The need to file paperwork is very stressful, and now that a lot of people are working from home, that makes it difficult having to file paperwork while people are working all over the country, all over the metro. It's hard to file paperwork that needs to be signed by many different people. So the use of technology is important now, with that specific example lang. And I'm not saying that this is something that only HR professionals are or should provide. I'm not saying that your company should be the one to really do this, but if you have partners, for these insurances, for health benefits and all that, you will see that even they are already working towards giving your employees access to these benefits online. So really, a lot of different organizations in the Philippines now are resorting to doing their business online. Our company included, even at Uploan. I mean, we've always done business online, but there are other processing that we're doing or we're transferring to online na rin as well. So ayun, it eliminates delays and paperwork. It aids in organization for both the employer and the employee. It goes without saying that the old school way of doing things, filing paperwork, filling up paperwork, can cause a lot of human error when it comes to filing, when it comes to organization, when it comes to finding documents. Doing it the old way, there's nothing wrong with that, doing it the old way, but technology can really help make things easier. When I'm talking about technology here, my common theme, you will notice, is ease and convenience for both the employer and the employee. It's going to be a common theme that I'll be discussing. And of course, most importantly, it will save time and it will save money. It will reduce overall cost for your organization as both the employer, both the employee and and you guys as HR professionals will be able to use 100% of your time to do the other work that is more important. Filing paperwork, filling up paperwork is very time consuming. So moving to an online platform and using technology will really help save you time. For example, if you have um, if you have a team of 5 people or 6 people, depending how big your organization is, handling compensation and benefits alone, having or using technology to help aid your compensation and benefits team can reduce the workload on those individuals. And if you are a growing company, it will also eliminate the need to hire more individuals for that specific team alone. So it goes without saying, nah, it really saves money. Some people may argue that it costs money to invest in different HR platforms. Yes, that's true. But if you do a cost analysis, the benefits far outweigh the costs that it will incur. It will incur your organization. Uh-huh. So moving on, um, using technology to improve financial wellness. So I already talked about earlier the different benefits, although very brief. I already talked about the different benefits that technology can have on your company in terms of managing, in terms of organization. So now I want to use a specific benefit as an example. I want to use financial wellness as an example. The reason why I chose this is not only because it's my area of expertise, but also if you do a quick search online, many sources will cite personal finances as one of the main causes of stress for employees. There have been many studies done, not only in the Philippines, but all around the world that will show na isa talaga sa biggest causes ng stress ang financial well-being or financial capabilities of different individuals. So ayun, I wanna focus on this as an example. Using technology to improve financial wellness starts with education. So like I mentioned, there's many sources online that cite the importance of financial education. Um, for those individuals or for those of us, the who are lucky enough to have attended tertiary education, even we, those who have experience with tertiary education, aren't taught how to manage our finances at school. This isn't something that is taught in a classroom. This is usually something that that people learn in the real life, so to speak. And unfortunately, a lot of Filipino employees are or do not have this kind of education. When it comes to financial stress, I'm sure a lot of you guys or a lot of individuals in general think that that loans or utang is the biggest cause of financial stress. But when you dig deeper, actually, the biggest cause of financial stress is the lack of education. In the Philippines, there is this notion, or there is a rampant utang mentality. Whenever we are in need, whenever there's an emergency, and our salaries can't afford it or our savings can't afford it, we resort to borrowing money. And the different options for borrowing money, we have banks, we have informal lenders, we have family members, we have friends. But the one thing that the lack of financial education brings is that we do not, or a lot of employees do not understand the future implications of borrowing can bring to them, what the implications of borrowing can bring to them. Uh, Us at Upload, we actually conducted a survey in the past of over 30,000 Filipino employees, and about 20% of the respondents actually said that they do not understand what credit is or what credit standing is. So, that's already a massive number, 'di ba? Na parang when you think about it, these are individuals who are very rampant when it comes to borrowing money and making utang, pero hindi nila naiintindihan na actually if they don't manage their finances well, mas lalo pa silang nababaon sa utang. Now you might be thinking, why should you as employers, um, care about your excuse me, why you should care about your the financial well-being of your employees? Well, first and foremost, employers or you guys as a company are a massive touch point with a big teaching opportunity when it comes to the financial well-being of your employees. Um, let's talk about workplace well-being. Some employees spend more time in the workplace than they do in the office. So if they're financial or if they're financially stressed, this affects their output or their performance in the company. So what you want to do is you want to equip your employees with not only different kinds of training for them to be able to do their job well, but you would also want to equip them with financial wellness trainings or seminars that can benefit them as well. It goes both ways. If your employees are not stressed, they perform better at work, but personally as well, they're just happier and well stress free. Diba? I want to cite a survey that was conducted by Willis Towers Watson. Um, when they did a survey about the different causes of stress for employees. Now, this was a global survey. It's not just in the Philippines. I'll get to that a little bit later. But the result of the Willis Towers Watson survey was that the number one cause of stress for a lot of employees is low pay. Now, when we talk about pay, that's something that's not easily controlled, naman, diba? But the other two, as part of their top 10 biggest causes of stress for employees, at number 8, they have employee benefit concerns. Under this, it could mean that a lot of employees are stressed because they believe that their employers may not be giving them enough fringe benefits. It could be that their fringe benefits are not easily accessible, like I mentioned earlier. So that's their number 8 cause of stress for employees. And at number 9, a close number 9, is personal finances. This is actually quite eye-opening, I know, for a lot of individuals. Even for me, before I entered this line of work, I was shocked when I read the different studies and the different surveys conducted. You wouldn't think that a person's or an individual's personal finance can affect their work, but it does. I'm not sure if some of you are currently experiencing financial stress. I know for a fact that nationwide, because of what we're going through, a lot of Filipino employees are under financial stress, be it them being laid off from their job or if they're under forced leave or things like that. Their lack of finances or financial access is causing them a lot of stress. There is also a survey that was conducted by HR Nation Philippines. So this is a little bit more local naman. So they did a similar survey to what was conducted by Willis Towers Watson. And in their result, personal finances was the number two cause of stress for Filipino employees. Number one was being just the workload. Workload was the number one cause of stress, but number two, and a close number two, was personal finances. It's really eye opening. It really is, and it's a cause of concern. That something so or something that seems so simple is causing so much stress and anxiety to our workforce. Um, Kami sa Uploan, we also, like I mentioned, we also did a survey of 30,000 30,000 employees. These are employees of our existing partners, and I'm just going to share some data with you guys. Ano? Out of the 30,000 employees, 56%, 56% of them said that they cannot cover 30,000 pesos worth of emergencies without having to resort to borrowing money. So we used 30,000 as the example, just to average out. Maybe it's medical bills, maybe it's health related, maybe it's tuition fees related for their children. So we use 30,000 as the level if they can afford this as emergency cash without having to resort to borrowing, and 56% of them said they cannot. Again, this doesn't mean that 30,000 is their monthly salary. It just means, do they have enough? Do they have enough savings or access to this big of an amount in cases of emergencies? And it's very shocking that a majority of these respondents said that they cannot or they do not have access to that. What's another thing that we got from that survey is that 88% of the respondents said that they have experienced living paycheck to paycheck. This is, I'm sure actually, that it could be more than 88%. Our survey pool was just 30,000. But if you think about it nationwide, a lot of Filipinos really live paycheck to paycheck. So when you think about it like that, if they're not well educated on how to manage their finances, they're unable to save a portion of their income, for the future or for times of emergency. And this also links to my point earlier of how a lot of us think that the biggest culprit when it comes to this or living paycheck to paycheck is the loans or is utang. But really, the root of all of it is the lack of financial education. Going back to the survey that I mentioned, 78% of respondents said that they are under financial stress. So again, this just brings everything together. The different payments that they have, the monthly payments, be it rent, utilities, food, and all of that. 78% said they're under a lot of financial stress. What's more shocking and what really, really affects both the employee and employers is that 47% of our 30,000 respondents said that they have, even at least once in their life, resorted to borrowing money from informal lenders. Now, I don't think I have to explain the dangers of resorting to informal lenders, yung mga loan sharks, 5-6, ATM pawning. You have to think about it this way. When employees have to resort to those informal lenders, that means that the need is great. It means that there is an emergency and they need access to those finances right away. But the lack of financial education won't let them think about the implications. It won't let them think about the interest rates that these informal lenders are charging. It won't let them think about whether they can afford to pay these informal lenders monthly or however it is their arrangement is. It won't let them think that upon repayment, they could be losing their entire monthly salary for the next, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, just by repaying these informal lenders that could have interest rates up to 300% a year. So, that mentality of I need money, I need to borrow money needs to be addressed. And a lot of, I'm sure, a lot in my experience, a lot of employers try to shy away from involving themselves with their employees' personal finances. But I'm here to discuss and to let you guys know that it's actually more beneficial for you guys to involve yourselves in the personal finances of your employees, because it affects you greatly in ways that you might not even think about in terms of employee output and things like that. So that's why employers are a massive touch point with a big teaching opportunity. And I'm sorry, I just missed a point. Going back to the 30,000 employee survey, we found out that 11%, or only 11% of these 30,000 employees have access or can borrow from formal lenders. And by formal lenders, I mean banks. The reason why this number is so low is not because the employers are not partnered with certain financial institutions to provide their employees with these loan opportunities, but because these employees are not quote unquote credit worthy. When we talk about the credit worthiness of Filipinos, it goes back to what I mentioned earlier, that 20% of our respondents don't even understand how credit works. So how will they even know what their credit standing is, right? So the fact that only 11% of our respondents have access to formal lenders, that means that 89% of them have to resort to informal lenders. Now, again, as employers or as HR professionals, you might not think that it's important, again, to involve yourself in the personal finances of your employees. And I'm not saying that you have to involve yourself from beginning to end, but just providing them an opportunity to educate them on financial well-being will go a long way. Sabi nga nila, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So, changing your culture as an organization or as HR professionals to accommodate these ideas that I'm bringing up will take time, and it will take some work. But I'm sure it will be well worth it in the end. As a company, as Uploan, we are partnered with over 300 companies in the Philippines already, providing their employees with different financial benefits. And I'm happy to report that every single one of our employer partners are happy with the partnership, because we are able to educate their employees on financial well-being, and teaching them about credit, teaching them about healthy borrowing habits, teaching them about savings, and how to borrow money properly so that they can afford to repay it every month. Ayan. So yeah, there is a potential for employers in the Philippines to take a larger role in being the mediator between your employees and formal lenders, by acting as a trusted mediator, and offering not only the opportunity to bridge the gap for underbanked employees, you also have the opportunity to take it as a teaching moment and encouraging your employees to own their finances. Ayun. So the different ways for you to use technology to improve the financial wellness of your employees. First, you have to find what the best option for you as an organization, as HR professionals, to help your employees. Now, I've prepared three different options, different options that I've experienced. Some of our partner companies have in the past. First, of course, is through creating a program on your own. Now, this is very simple. Any HR professional can do this for your employees and for your organization. However, it takes time. It takes time. It takes research, but it's something that that you can do as simple as maybe one seminar every quarter, one or two seminars a year, just teaching your employees to manage their finances better. Another option is, of course, online courses. There is a multitude of online courses available in different platforms online. Just as an example, personally, some of the companies that I have worked for in the past invested in our education and gave us access to websites such as Udemy, Udemy, to take online courses that at that time or at that position that I was holding, it was to help me do my job better. But if you do your research, there are different courses as well available to teach individuals how to manage your finances. This is, again, I can't stress enough how important it is to help manage stress as well. Or, of course, a third option, the easiest option, is to find a partner to do these trainings and assessments for you. There are companies already here in the Philippines that offer comprehensive financial wellness programs with incentives to entice employees and individuals to take part in these trainings. Now, creating these programs or taking part in these programs should not take away working time. Your employees' daily work output or what is expected for them every day. So these programs are typically done outside working hours. That's why some of the third party companies like us at Uploan, when we do these trainings and assessments, we expect it to be done outside of work hours, which is why there are some incentives that we provide to entice the employees to take part, be it a point system where they accumulate points and exchange these for prizes in the end. But it's also basically like making this learning platform a bit more fun as well. Lastly, using technology to improve financial wellness can help the company reap the benefits. It helps create happier employees, and of course, in turn, happier employees have better output when it comes to work. It helps increase employee engagement. Of course, if they're less financially stressed, then that's a huge load off their back, a huge worry off their back. And most importantly, improving financial wellness. In our experience, when we did this survey of from our over 300 partner companies, it actually helped them reduce attrition as well. Now, I'm not saying that improving financial wellness is the only thing that can reduce the attrition in your company. I'm saying that providing them with different benefits, different fringe benefits, and making it accessible to them, all of this together will help reduce attrition for your organization. Bringing it back to just the main point of providing these different employee benefits, it's meant to, from a business standpoint, it's meant to attract attract more talent. It's meant to attract better individuals and have them stay in your organization. But on a personal note, on a personal level, and I'm sure as HR professionals, this is one of your biggest concerns as well, is it creates a happier environment, a happier working environment for your employees. Happier employees lead to a happy company and better output. So these are the main reasons I think why you should consider using technology to manage your compensation and benefits. The difference there are, like I mentioned earlier, there are many platforms available online, or I'm sorry, not online, but platforms available for HR professionals to help you manage um, these these compensation and benefits, and even time management for your employees. If some of you already use third party payroll systems to help you with the compensation side and manage your payroll, you might want to consider as well using different platforms to manage the benefit side. It it will make your lives easier as HR professionals, and it will help create a better working environment as well for your employees. Ayan.
I I I think mute ko 'yung sarili ko. Can you hear me now?
Ayan. Yes, I
Yan,
can hear
okay.
you now.
Ayan. I'm actually very excited with what we have discussed. Ako rin I am what I was saying earlier was that I am not also very particular with my personal finances. Um and it was not even as an HR professional. I try to shy away from any topics discussing loans, discussing financial wellness. Kasi pag narinig mo na yung, uy, we would like to offer a workshop or a training on financial wellness, minsan yung iba inisip kagad, ay, mag-offer na naman to ng insurance.
Oo nga.
So, oo, di
Exactly.
ba? So, sometimes parang, ay, ayoko na. Parang 3 times na kayo nagsisend sa akin ng proposal. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to get insurance. I already have insurance. Please stop bugging me. Nagiging ganun yung yung outlook pag naririnig na yung financial wellness. It's a good thing that you discussed it, and it's a good thing that emphasized on how employers can play a vital role in educating their employees when it comes to financial wellness. Kasi I don't think there are many employers here in the Philippines who are aware of the role that they play when it comes to ensuring happiness via financial wellness. So let's do a quick check
Exactly.
sa ating mga attendees right now. Let's see who among you type 1 if you have or if you are able to do financial wellness workshops or trainings in your company. Can you let us know sino-sino sa mga nasa comment section natin ngayon? Sino po sa inyo? Just type 1 if you have done any kind of financial wellness training in your company. Ayan, so si Miss Abby. Si Miss Abby pala yung nakikita ko. I think si Irene earlier mentioned that she's also doing financial wellness in their company.
Yeah.
But I think I am not confident that we'll get many answers here right now when it comes to how many companies are doing financial wellness. I think very few companies. We have Janine, we have si James umulit. We have Ovin, but I think very few employees actually have financial wellness. And I agree with what you mentioned earlier. Na if you are able to address the part on financial wellness, you actually you can help your employees be more happy and be more productive with their work. Ayan. Next question natin. If you lose your job today, how many of you can sustain yourself within the next 3 months? Type 1 if you think you can sustain yourself within the next 3 months. Type 2 if you don't think you can sustain yourself within the next 3 months. Let's say you lose your job today and you're unable to find a job within the next 3 months. Sino-sino sa inyo ang kayang i-sustain yung sarili nyo within the next 3 months? Type 1. Type 2 if you cannot sustain yourself within the next 3 months. Ayan, tingnan natin kung sino yung mga sumagot. Wala pa ako nakikita sumasagot. So we have 1, Mercy mentioned, meron tayong sumagot ng 2. Lisa mentioned 1. Okay, why am I asking this? Kasi this is one of the common problems that we have. Because we lack financial wellness and understanding of financial wellness, most employees actually got caught by the pandemic. Nung biglang nag-declare ng quarantine, nung biglang ang daming companies that needed to shut down operations, whether temporarily or permanently, a lot of people found themselves without any means to support yung kanilang mga pangangailangan for the next 3 months. And it didn't help that the quarantine was extended for a few more months. So, ang daming nahirapan talaga. This
Mm-mm.
is where
Yeah.
technology really comes in helping our employees push through or go through the pandemic ng kahit papano ano pa rin, kinakaya pa rin at buhay pa rin. I think if there's one thing that the pandemic, good thing about the pandemic is that uh, technology was pushed to the forefront and many
Yes.
organizations realized that they need to digitize their processes, they need to adapt to technology, and they need to make use of tools that are in the past something that they haven't really taken into consideration. Like for example, with SSS, dati si SSS, usually pinagtatawanan si SSS kasi in order for you to open their website, you need to have Internet Explorer. When the whole world is already using Chrome and Firefox
Internet
and
Explorer pa rin.
Internet Explorer pa rin siya. But right now, SSS was pushed to really adapt. So ngayon po pwede ka nang mag-file ng sickness benefit, maternity benefit, retirement benefit, salary loan, calamity loan, unemployment benefit, po pwede na siyang i-file online. And SSS is making a number of changes. Meron pa silang mga nakaplanong changes within the next few months to allow their website to really be 100% digital, yung processes nila, digital. It's one of the things. They have an app na actually. They have a mobile app that will allow you. Although the mobile app happened prior to the pandemic, but they have improved it. I believe they have improved it that allowed all of the processes or most of the processes that they have to be done online na. Hindi katulad nung dati. So it's one
Yeah,
of the things.
actually,
Siguro, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, it's you hit it, you hit the nail right in the head when you said that currently because of the pandemic and kung ano nangyayari nationwide, it pushed a lot of companies and a lot of organizations to better their technology, not only or most importantly actually, to be able to give their employees the opportunity to work from home. Many people didn't realize how important technology is when it comes to doing their day to day work. But you are absolutely right. I missed mentioning that in my discussion earlier. But it it really forced a lot of companies to rethink techno or investing in technology for their operations. You are so right with that.
Oo, yun yung siguro kung meron mang isang magandang dinulot yung pandemic, that would be it. On the
Yes.
other end, unfortunately, it also highlighted the fact that not many people are aware of their financial standing, yung financial wellness. So ngayon biglang most of the employees suddenly became aware of their health insurance, suddenly became aware of the importance of having an HMO, suddenly became aware of knowing how to save some for the rainy day kasi ito na yung rainy day. They started to realize
Exactly.
that, yeah, hindi ako po pwedeng magpadala sa 99 ni Lazada at ni Shopee. Kasi kailangan ko magtipid, 'di ba? It's one of the realizations that we've had. Dati whenever pumapasok na yung 99, 10, 10, 11, 11 ni Lazada, ni Shopee, you'll see a lot of posts in Facebook na they bought this, they did this, they were
Naka-add
part
to
of
cart na ganyan.
naka-add to cart na yan and then hihintayin na lang yung date para i-check out na. But right now, hindi ganon. I am not seeing, at least as far as my network is concerned, I am not seeing that much noise or that much posts when it comes to spending. I think the pandemic changed, like what Lyrene has mentioned in our comment section. The pandemic changed drastically, not just how we adapt to technology, but how we act or how we handle our
Yes.
finances. Yes. And I
Yes.
agree with what you mentioned earlier that it all starts with education. Regardless of the
Yeah.
technology that you are using, if the employees are not educated, then they will not be able to handle yung kanilang finances. I agree with you what you
Yeah.
said about credit scores and things like that. I don't think Filipinos are aware of credit scores and how it
Yeah.
affects their future loans, future spendings.
And a lot of individuals actually are also not aware that in the Philippines we have two credit bureaus actually
Mhm.
that monitors every individual's credit score and credit standing. We have the CIBI and the CIC. We work with those organizations closely as part of our business, and a lot of individuals don't know that these organizations exist. Actually, they don't
Mm-mm.
know na everything they do and all their borrowing habits affects their credit score. Hindi nila
Mm.
alam yon, and unfortunately, majority of their borrowing habits affect their credit scores negatively.
Mm. Actually,
Ganon.
kahit ako, actually ako, I was not aware that there are two bureaus handling that. I am aware only of one. So dalawa
Yeah,
pala sa Pilipinas right
yeah.
now.
One is private, one is public.
Hmm, okay. So that makes sense. Kasi hindi katulad sa ibang bansa. In other countries, they're very particular with their credit scores. They would
Yes.
actually request for credit reports and see their history and check what their standing is like. Pero here in the Philippines, we're not very particular with that one. Uso nga sa atin
Yeah.
yung yung maglo-loan or magma-max out ng credit card and then tatakbuhan.
Uh-oh. Yes.
Unfortunately, uso sa atin yun. Which is not really a good idea because they are not aware that this affects their standing. So in case in the future they would need to make, let's say, a housing loan or a car loan, it could affect the probability of their loan applications getting approved. Am I correct in saying that, Michael?
Correct. Yes, you are absolutely correct. These negative borrowing habits, that's again, it just goes back to the lack of education. Hindi nila alam na these negative borrowing habits that they have now will affect them in the future. I'm sure now the workforce in the Philippines is quite young, and how many years from now pa sila mag-iisip ng bibili ng bahay, bibili ng kotse, and when they get to that point where they want to buy a house, they want to start a family, they want to buy a car, they won't have access to these finances anymore because of their borrowing habits in the past when they were younger. And like I mentioned earlier, this is the sort of thing that is not really taught in school. They don't teach us how to manage our finances when we're in grade school, in high school, even in college. Especially if you do not take up a business degree, hindi talaga, they don't teach you how to live in the real world, so to speak. So it really affects a lot of individuals negatively. And I'm here, and our company exists to help employers understand that this actually affects them, and they should really be concerned and more involved in their employees' personal finances. And it doesn't even have to cost them. It doesn't even have to cost them anything. It doesn't have to cost them time. It doesn't have to cost them money. All they have to do is do a bit of research, and they'll eventually find a third party organization who can do these things for them for free.
Meron
Ganon.
tayong phone-in question actually. May nagtatanong, do you have any recommended apps or platform that companies can use in order to help their employees with their financial wellness?
Um, I guess I'll take this opportunity to do a shameless plug. Shameless plug already. But if you do a little bit of reading on Uploan, we are one of those organizations actually in the Philippines that can provide can provide financial wellness trainings and seminars, financial wellness program to employees of our partner companies. We are one of those companies who used to do these trainings and seminars on site and in person upon the request of our partner companies. But of course, with what's going on now, we also felt the need of going digital. So our product team actually is or has been developing a platform where the employees of our partner companies can access these financial wellness programs online at their own time from the comforts of their own home. They can partake in different courses, which will all be free for them and for their employer as well.
Okay, ano pa yung ating
Yeah.
next question? Actually, madami nagsasabi nito, we've partnered with Uploan for our employee benefits. Ang dami na nagko-comment dun sa ating comment section.
Ay,
Ang dami
meron na.
Yeah, oo.
Ayun.
Lyrene mentioned that she has partnered with Uploan for the employee benefits. We also have someone, I think, nasa bandang taas na yung kanyang comment. She also mentioned earlier that they have already met with Uploan regarding their benefits. Ovin Ong also mentioned that Uploan gave me an offer proposal before. Actually, I also have when I was still working with a BPO company in the past.
Mhm.
I also received the proposal. Kaya lang we are the management is very particular when it comes to loans and anything that has loan in its name. I think it's a
Exactly.
common it's a common reaction from managers, from owners, that
Mhm.
whenever they hear loans, andun kagad
Has a
sila dun.
negative connotation.
Yeah, andun kaagad sila sa fear na if we provide loans to our employees and they don't pay on time, baka kami yung habulin. I think nandun yung
Yeah.
ano na yon, fear na yon.
That fear is it's actually a valid concern. It's understandable kung bakit a lot of employers have that negative connotation to the term loan. But like I mentioned earlier, loaning is not the enemy. The enemy is the lack of education. The lack of education will help or is the cause of a lot of Filipino employees having to resort to informal lenders. I mean, let's just to keep it real. If the employer doesn't provide the employee with safe lending or safe borrowing options, kung kailangan nila ng pera, maghahanap talaga sila ng paraan, 'di ba? So for them, if they don't have safe and reliable options provided to them by by their employer, that's when they resort to informal lenders. And this is a big no-no. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, kayo rin, mga HR professionals, I'm sure na-experience na ninyo yung mga loan sharks na kumakatok sa pintuan ninyo, sinasabing, uy, yung employee ninyo may utang sa akin, hindi na nagbabayad. So it's if you look into it a little bit more, that's really the root cause of a lot of these problems and the issues that employees experience. Yeah.
Okay. May question tayo dito from Penny Lane. Unahin na muna natin to. Do you accept partnerships with employment agencies?
Employment agencies, meaning manpower services, if that's what you mean by employment services agencies, yes. Uploan has a lot of partners already in the manpower service industry, be it janitorial services, office services, airline and aviation services. Meron na kaming mga partners in those industries. We don't have a limit to the industries that we serve. Our services are offered for free, absolutely no cost and liability to the employers. That's why we have partners in all and every industry that you can think of in the Philippines.
Okay, I just want to highlight what Lyrene has mentioned. Kasi maganda itong basahin. When you loan, it should not be because you just want something kahit walang benefit or value sa'yo. Loan should be used if you are really in need. This will serve as an option lang. I think it's a very good comment kasi tayo mga Pilipino, we have the tendency to spend beyond our means.
Yes.
So yeah, when we do that, nakakapusin tayo and then When something new comes in front of us, ayan na naman, maglo-loan na naman, until it comes to a point na sobrang dami na nating kailangang bayaran.
Yes,
And
exactly. And that's why education is the important part. That's
yes,
kami sa Uploan, that's part of our services. We're not just a lending company. We are a financial wellness company. The trainings and seminars that we do is not to promote, it's actually contrary to popular belief, even though we are a lending company. We don't promote or we don't encourage these employees to avail of loans. What we do is we educate them on what are the valid reasons on why you should avail of loans. You know, you should, as anyone, really should live within your means. You know, you should budget whatever your salary is minus your, you know, paying taxes, SSS, and pag-ibig deductions, whatever your take-home pay is. You should learn to budget it. What should be for your daily expenses or monthly expenses at home? What should be set aside for savings? And in cases of emergencies, medical emergencies, educational emergencies, that's the only time you should resort to borrowing. And you should only, and I cannot stress this enough, only borrow from formal lenders, banks, or accredited lenders in the Philippines. Because they're the ones who have not only lower interest rates, but they're more professional. Hindi sila magbabother ng employers. They won't bother employers for default loans or things like that. Unlike what loan sharks and informal lenders do.
yeah. And I think isa rin kasi sa mga common misconceptions, especially among employees, is that and this is particular dun sa mga, in particular, yung mga SSS loans, pag-ibig loans. They think that if they don't take out a loan, someone else will take out a loan on their under their name or on their behalf. I
Ah,
think it's one of the misconceptions then kasi I think few years ago, few decades ago, it was a common thing na nangyayari na if ever hindi mo ginagalaw yung SSS mo, usually nagkakaroon bigla ng loan under your name kahit na hindi ka nag-apply. But I think with SSS digitizing all of their processes, this is not something that everyone needs to worry about or anyone needs to worry about. So you just need to make sure that if you do take out a loan, it's for something that you really need and you don't have any other option. Okay?
exactly.
So atakban tayo. James has a question. As you mentioned in your presentation, 89% of employees are unable to access traditional lending opportunities. Part of this fear is of traditional banking systems as well as distrust in traditional banking. Financial education is key in getting past this, but what is the first step to get employees out of the stash money under the bed mentality?
It's it all boils down to education. When I mentioned that 89% of employees, based on our survey of 30,000 people, 89% of them do not have access to formal lenders. The example that we have here are banks. The reason why a huge percentage of Filipino borrowers don't have access or cannot take out loan from banks is because of the very strict qualification process that banks have set in place. Like I mentioned, one of the biggest qualifications for these financial institutions, banks, is the credit score of an individual. They base their approval or denial of these loan applications on the CIBI and the CIC reports. And unfortunately, a lot of Filipino employees either have a bad credit score or have no credit score. And having no credit score is just as bad as having a horrible score. So that's why the approval rating of banks on average in the Philippines is actually, I believe, at 55%. Um, that's where other third-party accredited lenders come into play. For example, kami sa Uploan, we have an approval rating naman of 98% when it comes to loans. Why do we have such a high approval rating? Number one, because we know and we are guaranteed that the employees of our partner companies have been educated in some way because of our the other services that we provide, which is financial wellness trainings and seminars. At the same time, because we are an employee benefits provider, we are able to extend credit to employees that have long or high tenure na sa company nila. So maybe they have a bad credit score with the credit bureaus in the country, pero 9 years na sila, 5 years na sila sa company nila, then for us, that's a good credit score kasi they're employed, they're loyal, so they should have access to these benefits. Ganon.
Okay. May question lang muna bago po yung ating mga may kinalaman po ito sa uploan. Do you do partnerships with government agencies?
We can do partnerships with government agencies. However, it would depend on the government agency policies if they would allow a third party accredited company to be their loan provider. Kami sa Uploan, we don't have much what's this restrictions in terms of our partner companies. It really all depends on that organization and your policies of allowing a third or providing a third party option for your employees. We exist at Uploan. We exist as an option. We exist as an option that you can provide for your employees. You might be partnered with banks already to provide your employees with loans. You might be partnered, or you might have some internal co-ops already to provide your employees with loans. Uploan can be another option that you provide for them. Given that we have, other than loans, we have other major employee benefits that we can provide as well.
So, side note lang daw po doon, ano po yung other benefits na yun that you can
Financial
provide?
wellness trainings and seminars. The whole topic of this, it's very important to educate your employees, diba? On how to manage their money well and what is the definition of good and healthy borrowing habits. So
Yeah.
that is one of our most important offers as well. And then the other employee benefits that we provide are insurance policies, which are also free for all of the employees of our partner companies. But this is through our partnerships naman. Our partnerships with insurance companies in the Philippines. So hindi kami yung nagbibig, or we're not the ones insuring your employees, but we are the ones who take care of the insurance premiums, basically. So our partnership talaga comes at no cost and no liability and almost zero involvement from the organization or company.
So, how do they partner with Uploan daw po?
How to partner with Uploan? I'm not sure if nakita nyo kanina from my slides in my presentation. You have my email address. You have my email address there at the bottom. You can just send me a quick email if you have any additional questions that you weren't able to ask today. Feel free to email me. You can log on to our website, uploan.ph. That website is actually already also serves as our portal where employees of our partner companies can access these benefits. But as potential and prospective partners, you will see there the different services we provide as well, and you can contact us through there.
Yan. If, for example, you want to request for your credit score, paano daw po yan and pwede bang gawin yun here in the Philippines?
Kami sa Uploan, we are able to request credit scores per individual from our partnership with the CIBI and the CIC. I don't want to say that as an individual, kung gusto mo lang malaman yung credit score mo, I'm not sure on that process or if it's possible. So we can just do na lang a little bit of a Google search, if we can do that. But I don't wanna speak on behalf of the credit bureaus if individuals can just request further scores. But definitely, banks and other financial institutions can request for an individual credit score. Definitely.
Okay, may follow-up question daw po doon. If, for example, pangit yung credit score, is there a way to have that corrected?
Yes, there are ways to improve your credit score. Just like in the United States, it's it's kind of complicated, and that's why financial education is very important. But in a nutshell, the way to improve your credit score is to have healthy borrowing habits. So, perfect example actually. Uh, it's happened several times with us at Uploan, where an employee of our partner company wanted to avail a loan from us. We did a credit check from the CIBI and the CIC, and they came out blacklisted. When I
Ouch.
say blacklisted, that means that if they try to avail a loan from banks or other financial institutions outside of SSS and Pag-ibig loans, they will be denied. They will be denied a loan because yun nga, bad or masama yung credit score nila is maybe something they did in the past, or they have absolutely no credit history. The way to improve it is, and kami at Uploan, we are able to help with that also. Kasi this individual, actually, there's more than one individual with bad credit score. We still gave them a loan, kasi they are tenured na sa company nila. So we extended a loan to them, and through the repayments, our repayments are done with the assistance of our partner companies via salary deduction. That means that their loans are being paid on time every month. And
Mm.
whenever we receive these payments from our partner companies, we then report these payments to the credit bureaus. So now nagkaka-report na si CIBI at CCIC of positive and healthy borrowing habits of that particular individual. So they're already changing their credit score for the better.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
something new. So pwede pa pala siya, hindi naman pala forever na
Hindi.
pangit na yung credit score mo. Pwede
Hindi.
naman pala siya mag-improve.
Yes. Walang forever.
Sakit nun. Maraming umasa sa ating mga viewers na may forever. Okay. May comment actually si Miss Cheska Dakuma. Sabi niya, as an employee pala, hindi lang dapat salary yung tinitignan. With the same importance din yung benefits. I think I'll take this one. Yes, that's correct. So, yung compensation nyo, that's just one part of what you're getting as employee. I think ang nakakalimutan natin is yung benefits part. And most of the employees really do not take advantage of their benefits. So for example, you have your HMO, you have your insurance provided by the company. Hindi yun na to take advantage. Like for example, in one of the companies that I've worked with, they have HMO, but they're very scared to go for checkups. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. So, but this should be free. They should not have to worry about this. They just do not know. They do not understand the extent of their benefits, what their benefits are for, how they can avail of it. So I think babalik tayo sa sinabi kanina ni Michael that it all goes back to education. If there's an understanding of how to be good in handling your finances and how to really take advantage of your benefits, then makikita nyo, ma-maximize yung both sides, yung compensation and yung benefits part. And if you're able to have your employees maximize their benefits part, hindi na sila masyadong mamomroblema dun sa kanilang mga finances. And tayo naman, on our side as HR, we also need to have an understanding ng kung ano ba talaga yung kailangan ng mga empleyado natin. It's very rare for an HR to really think of financial wellness or workshops and webinars on this topic as something that could help employees. But now that we have a better understanding na hindi lang ito para mag-offer na insurance, we are now able to also push this as one of our benefits para sa mga empleyado.
Yes.
Ayan.
Actually, I want to go back. Ngayon ko lang nakita. Lyrene had a comment earlier. I guess when she had the experience with Upload before, she said, kaya kami before our employees go to Upload, we check the reason. Lalo na yung mga low-income people. Kahit SSS or Pag-ibig, we always check kung para saan din, I'm assuming, kung para saan yung loan application nila. And we compute na maximum of 30% lang ang i-loan unless talagang sobrang in need. This is actually this is a good point that Lyrene brought up, and it's very important, and it's one of the biggest factors in us at Uploan as a company, where we we guarantee or we commit to not over indebting the employees of our partner companies. So we do this, number one, again, by financial education. I cannot stress that enough. Number two, by providing them a safe borrowing option or safe loan options. But number three, whenever we approve or when we talk to a loan applicant, we make sure that through their repayments, we make sure na hindi lalampas ng 20% of their monthly salary ang mapupunta sa loan repayments nila. And what's more important is we make sure that the employee takes home at least 50% pa rin of their monthly salary, of their monthly take home pay. So, nakita namin through their payslips kung magkano yung monthly salary nila, what their existing deductions are, and magkano dun yung take home pay nila every month. And then from there, when they apply for a loan from Upload, we do a quick computation on how much they can afford to loan, how much they can afford to repay. Hindi po kami basta-basta lang mag-a-approve ng loan just because, even though we're a lending company. We commit to responsible lending, and we commit to educate individuals on responsible borrowing din. Ganon.
Okay, merong suggestion si Rem Siciliano. This is actually one of the ways HR can help employees save more, be better in their handling their finances. Sabi niya, in my previous company, I encourage our employees to invest in MP2 and some of them invested. MP2 is a pag-ibig program. So yung mga hindi po aware, it's a pag-ibig program wherein instead of just 100 pesos per month, pwede nyo taasan yung contribution nyo without impacting yung contribution ni employer. So this is a good way to save. Of course, there are other ways that you can invest, but this is one way that you can invest your money, make sure na may natatabi kayo every month, and then when the time comes na kayo ay maglo-loan na or magre-retire na, at least you'll have bigger savings para po dun sa sa future nyo. Ayan.
And it's
Okay.
one form of financial education then, what Renz did there. Even just something as simple as suggesting to your employees on how to manage your finances or to invest in different things. It's kind of an informal way already of educating them how to manage their finances.
Yes, correct. Ayan. No, ma'am. Pag-ibig 2 is different. Yes, pag-ibig 2 is different from pag-ibig 1. Pag-ibig 2 is when you add more to your usual contribution. Si pag-ibig 1 yung 100 natin, pwede nyo taasan yan. Pwede kayong magdagdag ng inyong contributions. Okay, so yan po yung mga pupwedeng, ano pa ba yung mga comments natin dito? Okay, mahalaga talaga may karagdagan about financial para smooth po lahat. Yes, correct. Financial wellness allows you to really educating your employees when it comes to financial wellness, allows you to help your employees save more and be more conscious about their spending habits. I actually know of a person back I think about 5 or 10 years ago na minimum lang yung kanyang sweldo. So minimum wage earner siya. Pero compared sa ibang mga empleyado, mas malaki yung natitipid niya. Kasi siya, very cautious siya sa paggastos. Very careful siya sa paggamit ng, may credit card siya, pero he's very careful on how he uses his credit card. Ang sabi niya kasi, yung credit card para lang daw ma-build. I think he already has an awareness of credit scores. He just
Credit
wanted to
scores, yes.
build yung credit score niya para daw, later on, pag kinailangan niyang mag-loan, merong matitignan yung mga bangko na credit score niya. I think he was very familiar with those things kaya magaling siya talagang mag-ipon. I think one of the things that we have to emphasize is that financial wellness doesn't mean na talagang sobrang tipid na tipong sobrang inaano niyo naman yung sarili niyo. Dinadiet niyo na yung sarili niyo sa mga kailangan niyo.
Pinagkakait niyo na yung mga gusto niyo.
Oo, hindi naman po gano'n. Kumbaga, maano lang tayo, dapat alam lang natin kung kailan tayo po pwedeng mag-splurge at kung kailan tayo po pwedeng magtipid or wag masyadong munang gumastos. Yeah.
Correct.
So I think that's very important. Next question po. Not related to loans and anything, but how can we work on mental health as part of our Comp and Ben programs?
That's a very good question, actually, and this is one of the one of the intangible benefits that is an opportunity for employers to provide their employees. Ano? This is something that I've experienced as an employee of Uploan Philippines that our company provided for us. Mental health is very important, especially now that we're going through this pandemic. A lot of individuals are very stressed. So an opportunity that employers have to provide for their employees is you can partner with a third party provider like us. Kami sa Uploan, we partnered with Infinite Care for we had several more than one. We've had several sort of like webinars as well, where an Infinite Care representative was talking to us and discussing the importance of taking care of our mental health. But at the same time, they also provided us with one-on-one sessions naman with representatives from Infinite Care if there were certain things that we wanted to talk about that we couldn't do in a public platform. So this is something that you might want to consider if it's a partnership that your company is able to do. Really look for providers that can help your employees through these trying times in taking care of their mental health.
Yes, I agree. And good thing that you mentioned that. I think some HR are not familiar with the importance of brokers when it comes to HMO. So if you have a broker for your HMO, actually even if with your HMO, they can help you provide webinars on mental health. It's part of the contract that you have signed up with them. Yung kung si Michael is talking about financial wellness, your HMO providers and your HMO or healthcare brokers, they include in their package webinars naman on physical and mental well-being. They will be able to help you with that. It's generally free, usually 4 hours or 8 hours yung contract or yung session na po pwede nyong gawin. So that's one of the things that you might want to take advantage of. Review your contract and see there kung may clause kayo for that. If you have a clause for that, go ahead and take advantage of that. Otherwise, ang suggest ko sa inyo, and this is something that I have done in one of the companies that I worked with. We partnered with pharma companies. We allowed them to set up booth and we allowed them to conduct webinars. They are very much willing to do that, especially if they see that you have a large headcount and malaki yung market na po pwede nilang
Uh,
pag-offeran ng kanilang services. So that's
True.
one of the things that you might want to consider po. Ayan.
Yeah, and as HR professionals or any manager in any company, uh, you might you might be thinking that providing your employees with added fringe benefits will cost your company money. If you do actually if you do your research, a lot of these benefits that you can get from third party providers will cost you nothing. A lot of it third party companies and third party parties can provide these for your employees free of charge. A partnership with you as a company free of charge. They I guess some of them will get their income from any employee that avails of their services or things like that. But it is a benefit that you can provide them that won't even cost you anything, diba? And it will show your employees that you do care. But again, as long as everything is organized and easily accessible for them, it will really show them that you care.
Yes. Yung mga nagtatanong po kung po puwedeng magpa-APE pa rin, dapat po may APE pa rin yun or annual physical exam yung mga companies nyo. So get in touch with your HMO provider. Hindi kailangang on-site po pwedeng dumiretso na yung mga employees nyo sa clinics. But make sure that they do that kasi it's one of the benefits that they need to take advantage of. It's not something that's really para sa kumpanya. It's more of for the employees to see if they are healthy, if they need to undergo any medical procedure or things like that, habang lalong-lalo na ngayon sa sitwasyon natin ngayon. So it's a good thing to take advantage of that. Lairine mentioned something. Si Lairine mabenta sa ating comment section. Sabi
Very
ni
engaged. I like that.
Yes. Do engagement programs po. You can also do a kamustahan session every afternoon kahit 2 to 3 times a week. Tapos daily meditation, do fun night and education on mental health. Correct. Oo. As HR, tayo po yung kailangan manguna sa mga organizations ay sa pag-organize ng mga ganyang events. Now, bilang HR, wag din naman po nating pabayaan ang ating mga sarili. So if ever you need to vent out or need people to talk to, meron malaki po ang network natin mga HR. Marami po tayong mga kakilala diyan. Get someone to talk to kasi importante din po na tayo rin mismo ay okay tayo. Otherwise, we cannot give what we do not have. Ayan po. Ayan. Tanong po ni James. Nagpapaligsahan si James at saka si Lyrene. Sabi ni James, how long does it take to build a good credit score? To build back a good credit score?
Well, your credit score or your credit history can be kept on record upwards of 20 years. So be it a negative impact or a positive impact on your score can be kept on record for up to 20 years. So it depends on how healthy your borrowing habits are. You can build up your credit score in as quick as 3 years, ganon. Or if you continuously hold a unhealthy borrowing habit, then it could take you up to 20 years to build good credit history. That's why, especially for our younger workforce, now is the time where they should be educated on managing their finances and being mindful of their credit score. Kasi how else will they buy houses in the future or buy cars, di ba?
Correct. Dito na ako naniniwala na si Lyrene ay talaga naman pong nag-attend ng mga webinars ng Uploan kasi she commented earlier about 8 to 20 years para ma-build mo yung score mo. Na-mention niya yon. So, naniniwala ako na talagang umattend si Lyrene ng webinar ng Uploan. Alam na alam niya. Sabi niya, madaldalan po talaga ako. Tagal ko kasing walang kausap today. Di lang po sanay. That's okay. That's perfectly fine.
I
Wag
share
po
your sentiment.
Wag pong kakausapin ng pader. Ako kinakausap ko na yung mga halaman ko. Natatakot ako 'pag sumagot sila sa'kin. Okey. So yun po. Meron pa po ba tayong mga questions dito? May comment po si Rem Siciliano, "Living within your means." Again, financial education comes in. Ayan. Totoo naman
Correct.
po. That's very, very
Very
important.
important.
Yes. Okay, I don't think we have any more questions or comments right now. Meron pa ba tayong mga additional na questions po dito? May mga hahabol po ba? Ito po. How do you structure a technologically advanced CNB program?
In structuring a technologically advanced CNB program, like I mentioned earlier, there are different third-party HR providers or HR platform providers that you can avail of their services to help you in that regard. I've had experiences with some companies who were able to do an online platform on their own. Kudos to them. If you have the means, if you have the capabilities to do this, if you have a team within your organization to do this for you, by all means, please do it. Diba? Kasi a technologically advanced comp and ben system will really help your organization, as I've discussed kanina. But if you do not have the capabilities to come up with your own, there are third-party platforms that you can take, that you can use, and don't be afraid to do your research in the different platforms available out there. Some of them might be cheaper than you think, and when you think about it, the cost or the benefits rather of using these services will far outweigh the cost.
Yes, correct. I agree.
Yeah.
So para naman doon sa mga nagba-budget talaga, may suggestion si Irene. If you don't have an HRIS system, go for Excel or Google Sheet. Anything that will help you track actually. It would be a good way. But if you want something, a platform that will automate everything, you have to go with what Michael has mentioned. Research. Usually they offer yung mga platforms na yan, they offer free trials. Take advantage of those free trials to familiarize yourself with the environment and see if it's something that suits your needs. You might also not just research on platforms, but you might also want to research on trends on compensation and benefits. Kasi some companies, especially in the western part of the world, they already do flexible benefits. There's no specific, or there's no fixed benefit for the employees. They have the capacity, or they have the free will to choose which benefit they feel suits their needs. So it's one of the things that you might want to consider. Medyo mahirap lang i-implement yung flexible benefit, or yung tinatawag nating cafeteria style benefit. Medyo mahirap lang siyang i-implement, but it's something that greatly appeals to, let's say, millennials as well as the Gen Z. So you might also want to take into consideration that one. Okay po?
Yeah.
I think we have already, yes, cafeteria benefits. So I think we have already answered all of the questions that we have. So before we end this session, meron lang po tayong ilang mga pluggings. So if you haven't liked our page yet, please like our page. You can head to, or you can search for Uprush Content. That's our Facebook page, or you can take a screenshot, or actually use a QR code scanner to scan the QR code flashed on your screen right now. So that's for our Facebook page. Palike po, para po whenever we have free webinars like this one, you would easily get notified kung kailan po siya mag-start, at kung meron pong mga iba pang webinars kami, paid and free, na po pwede nyo i-take advantage. Okay? Our next webinar is happening on September 15. This is for brushing up on your communication skills. It's just 168 pesos. So if you want something that will help you understand the basics of communications, particularly the English language, we would be discussing that during the Brushing Up on Your Communication Skills webinar. Use your QR code scanner now to get to the registration page, or the events page of our Facebook page. And then we also have problem solving and decision making happening on September 19. This one is a full 4 hour webinar. We would be discussing about how you can do root cause analysis, and how you can come up with the right decision for the different situations that you might encounter in your work as an HR. Ayan po. At ang pinakahihintay ng lahat, if you would want to get your certificate of attendance po, use your QR code scanner to head to the Google Forms page for the request po. When you request for your certificate of attendance, we would be sending it within 5 to 7 working days, along with the copy of the video recording of what we have right now, the slides from Mikel, and all the other materials that you would need in order to know more about Uploan po. So we'll send you the links to Uploan and the contact details of Mikel. Yung pong mga ko-contact
Yeah.
po kay Mikel, please contact him about Uploan. Marami pong pumuso sa aming show, sa ating webinar today. Actually kanina yun yung comment ni sorry, ni anong name nun kanina. Yung comment ni James actually parang wala daw nanonood, lahat daw ay nakatitig lang kay Mikel. Okay, huwag kayong ganyan. Bakit kayo ganyan? Nandito tayo para matuto. Okay, so ito po, you can scan po the code in order for you to get your certificate of attendance. But gusto ko rin po mag-thank you dun po sa isa sa ating mga constant partners po. So let's just watch this video clip from Move Up and Up Up Up. So ayan po, if you are looking for a platform that your employees can use for learning and development, you can make use of Move Up. Yung mga umattend po ng ating Basics of Gamification last Tuesday, you can get your certificate via Move Up, but you need to pass their exam, their quiz. 70% po dapat yung makuha yung score in order for you to get your certification from Move Up. Move Up offers a lot of micro-learning topics. So it's something that you can enroll in, at hindi nyo po kailangan na mag-spend ng hours just to finish a topic. You can go on your own, self-paced learning po pwede nyo pong gawin dyan. Move Up also has a platform, Up Up Up. They also have a platform for employee engagement naman. For gamification in relation to performance management. So they also have their platform We will be introducing that platform to you guys within the next few weeks. We'll have a topic on that most likely within the next few weeks. Today po we'll also upload a new video regarding some of the common questions that you might have when it comes to labor relations. And we'll have our very first tool review. So meron po tayong platform or tool na i-review mamaya. Watch out for the video for that one. Ayan, artistang-artista ang pakiramdam ko. Okay. So yun po. Michael, thank you very much to agreeing to do this with us. Sa
Thank
totoo
you.
lang po, first time po namin nagkita ni Michael. Ang meron lang po ako ay yung picture niya. At yung kanyang profile
Okay.
sa LinkedIn
Sa
na for some
LinkedIn.
reason medyo malayo. hindi ko nakala na ganito ano yan. Marami tuloy tayong pumuso ngayong araw na. Anyway,
tsaka because of quarantine, humaba na rin yung buhok. Ang tagal ko nang hindi nagpapagupit. 6
oo
months.
nga eh. Wow. Kaya nga nagulat ako doon sabi ko parang hindi ganito yung buhok niya doon sa picture. Okay, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ren. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, and thank you everyone for joining us. We have already commented yung pong email address ni Mikel Zubiri. If ever you have any questions about Uploan or would like to partner with Uploan, please send him an email and he would assist you. Okay po?
Yes.
Para naman po doon sa mga may questions about HR webinars, you can email us at support@readyrightnow.com or send us a PM in our Facebook page. Again, this is Rona Florentino, thanking everyone for being with us this afternoon. We hope you learned a lot from our session today. We'll see you next Saturday po. Maganda rin po ang topic natin next Saturday. Ano naman po ito? May kinalaman pa rin, slightly may kinalaman pa rin sa topic natin ngayon. Kasi kung ang topic natin ngayon is more on the benefit side, mas marami po tayong madidiscuss compensation side and HRIS side next week naman po. Okay po. So again, maraming salamat po. Thank you everyone. And
Thanks,
this
everyone.
is us. Po. Bye-bye.